Good morning, everybody. A sec here. All right. Well, we got what we expected yesterday, more inching, crawling up toward the all-time high. Maybe it'll get there today. See, yesterday just pushed a little above that level. It was kind of a grinder. No charts, yeah. There you go. I need all that data. Just slow grind up there. And just almost like non-moving. It was a little move up this morning. Now it's coming in. So I think it's going to be more of the same. Just again, looking at the economic reports, Dallas Fed Services Index, none of the stuff that typically moves things around. Tomorrow is the day, the jobless claims numbers and pending home sales and oil stocks, and we'll see where that goes. I think it's almost irrelevant, just before the last week of the year, and everybody just wants to see, hey, all-time high, it made it there, blah blah. So little grinder of an uptrend. You can see on the hourly chart some sideways consolidation. Let's see if it gets through there in 4,800. Spiders, little bitty up day. Do you think 6S is going to break out? 6S. Is that Swiss franc? Franc 6S? Is this what you're talking about? Well, it's already broken out. Look, you apply the same thing to futures that you do to stocks, same patterns, doesn't matter. Came down to support. You look to the left, was trending down. It popped up higher low, wide range bar igniting, had to move up, it pulled back. Now, when you say breakout, we don't look at breakouts like this. This is a greater than 100% retracement. This is where the momentum is going to stall. Just looking further, back, or you can go and look at a monthly chart. So, it's been done nothing for a decade. And so it might continue to go higher, but again, a little extended from the 20. Could buy a pullback or see if it corrects sideways. But you can't buy it after, if you're saying this is a breakout. I mean, it's clearing this pivot high. So it's broken out. But that's one. What you're saying is it's showing strength. How are you going to get on board? You don't buy just because something takes out resistance. And I know nothing about their, economy. If they are tightening interest rates, that would support it going higher. Keep that in mind. All right, so S&Ps are in striking distance to that all-time high up there. I'm not saying that that's the number. I just put this line up there. So touching 480 or getting slightly above it, new all-time highs, party hats, yada, yada, yada. And we'll see what next year brings. And get rid of these squiggly lines from a prior discussion. All right. So where's it at? Unchanged. Unchanged there. Internals, you know, maybe this needs to pop up. I don't know. A last minute of call buying to push this directly up. You can see it's the put call ratio is not been low on a day-to-day basis. But just staying up here in this upper band. Again, for those who are not aware, these bands adjust for different market environments. So, they've been coming down, but maybe this could push up, and that would be the last gasp. And the equity put call ratio is through the upper band. So I mentioned this in the prior newsletter, I think the week before last. It's like, look, whatever your way of measuring, if you're using indicators overbought, which is the worst way to do it, but extended or different internal measurements, the market is ripe for a correction. How big of a correction? That's unknown. And what I mentioned yesterday which was a plus, is that, look, the move that the market has had in a short amount of time, could say it needs a resting period. But, having these type of moves, corrections through time, and then where prices push up a nice distance from the prior pivot lows, major support gives markets room to pull back without damaging or breaking the uptrend, especially if this could push up. So what the risk is here, internals being where they are, prices extended, big move in a short amount of time, is that the S&P pops up and it pushes through 480, new all-time high, and then immediately retraces all the way back down. So, see, this is not going to be marked as a pivot, this red bar here, because this bar has a lower high. Now, no method is perfect, but common sense added to a near perfect method is pretty good. And so it'll have 3 or more bars to the right, only 2 to the left. So the system will never mark that as a pivot low, as these are. But being a wide range bar breaking below 2 prior bars and then having multiple bars up, you will know that this is a significant reference point of support. So ideally, if prices push higher, they can get a little distance above this area. And as looking at other markets, we apply the same thing. And so here, we've got 3 days, maybe as the new bar starts here. I'm eyeballing this. It looks like it's below that bar. I could put a thing on there, but it'll mark it later. So that might be a pivot. Anyway, I would still mark that bar. You're going to see it. If it's got 2 on one side and 3 on the other, you're going to have a pivot on the hourly time frame. Maybe that, just a better way to explain it, and to recognize that, well, it's not marked as a pivot low or a dot if we're looking at TC 2000. Common sense. You got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. It's going to be a pivot on an hourly time frame. It is a reference point of significance. Right now, it's just, it's grinding up. This is, where is that? Oh, I got this thing here. Let's just put this up here. Yeah, it's pretty much unchanged. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Interest rates down a little bit. They're into this support. I believe they're, just based on the chart, they're at support. They down a whole bunch of bars down in a row. This is going to flip up at some point. It's just pretty inactive for the moment. Just looking at the 10-year, you can see the opposite of that, slowly grinding up, and not a definitive reference point and looking at the yields, but it did get a wide range bar 2 weeks ago. It's coming into some resistance, so we'll keep an eye on this as we get into the new year, and the 30-year, coming up into that resistance area. So we got to keep an eye on interest rates. Interest rates have been a major factor influencing the markets for the last couple of years, and at some point that's going to disconnect. But for now, it's a big deal. Russell cleared the highs. That's a plus. It moved up a bit higher yesterday. And that was good. Keep an eye on KRE. Little hook kind of a pattern. These can be tricky. First of all, you got a wide range bar. So this isn't a 1, 2, 3 that I would show you. Like this one would be, it's just starting the move in a 1, 2, 3 versus this is up several bars. It clears the high. It's a bit tricky. And this as a little hook pattern, so close to that high, it's not ideal. But if the market rips, it could go. Just when we look at patterns, we look at historical behavior that occurs over decades. And a pullback like this is one in which you don't go all in because it's so close to the high. And the weekly being what it is, it has a higher probability of maybe making a slight higher high and then coming in and the momentum stalling. The trend is still up, but it's just pulled back so little. Biotechs are bringing up the rear. Look good, clearing the highs. That's coming up to resistance like many things are. So, upside being limited, don't chase. Well, you're interested in UUP. That has not been fixed yet. If I can get the data, maybe a different service has the data, and I can adjust the chart in eSignal. Yeah. So maybe wherever this is up here. It's kind of inching lower, and I got to find a chart. Maybe on Trader View they have UUP where they fix the data. Now I've got to fix all of these days. It's certainly doable because in this platform you can right click on there. There's a bar editor and you can adjust the data and it'll save it. So semiconductors, they whipped around at the end of the day, but they're strong. They continue to go higher. So, tech is doing well. And, Bitcoin's been all over the place, back and forth here. It's just consolidating its gains, nothing much happening there. Gold continues to improve. We looked at the weekly and monthly charts yesterday. This might be something that's going to do well in 2024. It's certainly on the list. I don't know what this big whip was, but this is up near all-time highs. And silver, not much of doing anything here. We don't talk about the mid caps too much, but they've had a nice move up like the Russell. So when we look at breadth and we see how it has stayed at this upper level like this, and I mentioned, over the years when it moves like that from the lower end to the top end, that's bullish, signals higher prices. But when it stays like that, it means that the breadth has been expanding, which we know. So looking at one piece of information will communicate that. And then as you look around and you see things like the mid cap and the Russell and retailing, all of them moving up. So things broadened out in a big way in the last 2 months. And that's a positive. We'll just see what goes and what holds on to the gain as the markets correct in 2024. All yours, Dan.
Morning. Yeah, Santa is sure delivering this year. I saw on CNBC, they said the I IWM is up 25.8% in the last 2 months. Amazing run. So yeah, today MT Live we'll be talking about, reviewing all the markets, opportunity for next year in terms of what sectors, markets, commodities, bottoming patterns. But this, so we had this as a long and it just ripped. This was FOMC meeting day, and it just ripped. Um, I mentioned yesterday in the green room that we had this three incredible red bars ignored after this big move. That I think I read something. It's only happened a couple times in history after an FOMC to move this much, and none of them, like I think the research said, happened after a Fed meeting like this. So, that's a very bullish move. All right, alarms. Let's see what's going on. Target. I had an up alarm going off. We're long. We're very long in our positions right now, with caution because of the musical chairs. But we're just trailing them, trading bullish patterns. CGNX, I had an up alarm going off. This is a fantastic example of a bull rectangle continuation pattern. A red bar ignored, 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. So that, this is even a beautiful new trade. We're already in it 2 days ago over the red bar, but there's nothing wrong with this as a new trade. Looks fantastic. Tesla alarm went off. So this I had posted in the weekend letter as a put spread idea, which is good to go. It's gapping right to the entry. And then if it can bobble around up here and take out the 30-minute high, I see no reason this can't run $5 this week. Today's Wednesday, so we have 3 full trading days left. I don't know. That's a good question, Robert. It's just an eyeball. We'll talk about it later. I have the flag pole, which is the momentum breakout, and then it's just a bullish consolidation, which is either a flag, rectangle, rising channel, whatever. All right, alarms. What else? Maxim alarm. This is a solar stock that we bought over this red bar ignored continuation. Looks great. REMX up alarm, bottoming pattern we bought. That looks good. All right, I think that's all my alarms. Let's see what else I got over here. All right, Mr. we had as a put spread. It did not trigger, but look at, Bitcoin's up. So a number of these Bitcoin related mining stocks are up. This side of, we like 1, 2, 3s to stay in the upper 40%. This one a tad lower, but so what? Look at this bullish 15-minute chart. That's very bullish consolidation after this little gap at this prior high. So it's still posted as a put spread, but 30-minute high, maybe directional. AAP, we're already in this, both as a directional and a put spread, but over, well, Monday was a holiday, over Friday's high is it add. That looks fantastic. OIH, hey Don, your drop down. Don was asking about SPX levels and Greg's answering it too tight. All right, so this is a bottoming pattern, downside shakeout, OIH. We had our gap over the red bar yesterday. We're already in a put spread, but I said we'll do another one for next week over the high. Sam, as always, gives me a number of things to watch here. Oscar November, continuation, breakout, ALY, same. EHC, top of the range. I think that needs to bobble around a bit more, but that'd be a no-brainer put spread under last week's low. If there's any juice. I'm gonna delete this one, Sam. I don't like the up down here near this prior high. Sierra Golf, same. You know, these are put spread ideas. Live in. See if it can go sideways another bar or two. TKR I posted. And okay, so who was this? Robert asking me about a rectangle. This is a bull rectangle. There's no, rarely will you ever hear us say there's a set definition, except for like a 1, 2, 3. You need a wide range bar and a little bar in the upper third. But you just eyeball it, So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 6 bars in the upper 70% of this flagpole with a closing breakout of these inside bars. So that's a bull rectangle. And the weekly is a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I saw that, John. I have an alarm at 178. Remember we did them at the 185, so we still have cushion. But yeah, he's been a tough one to fade. ALITs, went sideways, building a base of support in an uptrend. These are still Sam's watch. Oh, Oscar. So that's a bull rectangle also, Robert. Here's my flagpole. Here's my rectangle. So, don't get crazy about it. You just eyeball it. It's bullish consolidation. So I'd rather have a bullish 6-bar consolidation instead of 2 bars. 2 bars, not a rectangle. Not. It has to go sideways long enough to give me that the consolidation, the pole, the rectangle. All right, let's see. YouTube Cash asking about STT. Yeah, we entered 2 banks yesterday actually, and a lot of them look similar, so that's not bad. We entered TFC. See how similar this is, Cash? So we're long TFC. And what was the other one we did? Where are you? We have a ton of open positions. NYCB. All right, this one's not the same, but this one's a buy setup, deep retracement. But yeah, those are the 2 we bumped. And AAP rolling over. It depends what time frame you're talking about. On daily, I don't. Well, yeah. So the 15-minute chart, yes, it's a breakdown after breakout failure, but on the daily, we're just to yesterday's low, so it's still a 1, 2, 3. In fact, oh, my bad. It's a wrong. My bad. Apple, you're asking about. Yeah, I actually looked at this, and the weekend letter is a call spread, breakout failure, and it's extended. So yes, it is rolling over, could be building a top. I don't see any obvious trade though right now. Maybe 15-minute lows, a day trade short. It's not a good swing, down 4 bars on support. Delta 20 asking about Delta Oscar. Okay, gap 13.8. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, 100%. That's an okay gap. We had a bullish breakout close of a bottoming pattern. The gap's not excessive. It's hard to tell where it really is gapping. I see one print 1385. But no, that looks fantastic. I'm gonna put that in the bottom right. We did Devon yesterday. Another breakout. We did a put spread on this one. Delta 20, but yeah, I like your DO. Greg, I answered that already. And on the Apple. RDNT alarm. And this was a buy setup. Sam, that's yours. Nice, nice 15-minute chart. That, 5, 10, 15-minute high. That looks good. Mr. Up alarm. This was I had an early put spread. I'm sorry, early alarm. But that's bullish daily 15-minute chart. Remember somebody asked me about shorting call spread on this yesterday? In the email, and I said, no way, Jose. That's a bull 1, 2, 3. Even though his name was Scott, I called him Jose. AD line gapping down, a big gap down on AD line. Wow. Q's ripping here though. So I immediately just look up at my fangs when I see Q's ripping. I got Tesla, Amazon, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google to the upside on the 15-minute chart. But I think I never think that the one of the 4 index horsemen can carry. So let's just, the other 3 are down. So let's wait a few minutes here to let things settle out. VIX under 13, tick holding fine, tick's positive at 300. All right, but Mr. looks great. Mindy up alarm. I got that one from McGraw. And I'm not crazy about the daily, but weekly, monthly look like a long-term bottom. Nothing to do now. All right, CGNX. All right, I don't have any other alarms going on. All right, so this diamond offshore now. See, I told you I couldn't trust the gap. So now I'm going to set an alarm at 1386. See if it can get back up there. Joby up alarm. Sam, I am. Dude, I remember reading about Joby. Joby is a helicopter company, flying car helicopters. I remember reading about them in Barron's. Wow, this could be the home run entry. Daily, weekly, monthly, maybe target 850, which percentage wise is, maybe 9, maybe 10. I mean, I think yes, wouldn't you like to fly your car around town? But in terms of a fundamental answer, I have no idea.